Well, how about that? Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we are indeed getting some more bounty hunter loving and galaxy of heroes with the newest addition to the crew being Embo. A couple days ago, we speculated as to why Dangler is the login reward character, and so many people in that video called out the fact, hey, why don't we get Embo? He's already an NPC in one of the hard battles, and indeed, they brought this character over for us to play. Most likely going to be a marquee event. You guys know my feelings on marquee events, but this bounty hunter definitely is interesting. And although Embo is a very interesting character, I think more is to come. A very perceptive Redditor went on Reddit and noticed that in my video I did the other day with the developers, the footage I was provided, it looked like there's a reworked Cad Bane in the works. As we see, the artwork looks completely different than the one we have in game. All speculation. I have no confirmation if Cad Bane's getting a rework, but it makes a lot of sense because of the fact Embo's in the game now. So hopefully the rest of August is gonna be fun. I would love to see a Cad Bane rework, but let's talk about Embo. This video is all about him. He's going to be an attacker with the bounty hunter and scoundrel tags, and he's got a lot of interesting things we have here. 2 Zetas on this character, by the way, but let's start up with this basic, very close to Darth Nihilus, called Dismantling Shot. Very simple. You dispel all buffs and deal physical damage to a target enemy. It's going to be very important because when Embo's leading, you want to be able to trigger his contract by hitting enemies that don't have buffs, which is kind of difficult, but I have some lineups to help you out with that. Next up here, we have the Kyozo War Helmet, the first and only special ability. Very simple kit. I do like those simple kits, as we know. And the Kyozo War Helmet, it does some decent damage. It deals physical damage to a target enemy, and the reason why it does decent damage is because this attack deals bonus damage equal to 35% of Embo's max protection. Then, Embo loses 50% protection, so when you're doing this ability right here, you can actually do some decent amount of damage. At times, you get 27,000 damage, and it's kind of cool because this is in your control on how much bonus damage you can do, and it all just comes down to making sure you control your stats. And by the way, since we're here, he's got some decent speed. It's not the greatest in the world, but it's definitely average, so he's not going to be a slow bounty hunter by any means. And now we move into his leader ability, which does have a Zeta on here, and it's called the Quiet Assassin. All bounty hunters gain plus 50% counter chance and plus 50% health steal. Now, before I go any further, this leadership reminds me a lot of what I would love to see Gar Saxon have, and when a bounty hunter scores a critical hit during their turn, they gain offense up for 1 turn. And when Embo's in the leader slot, you have this contract you need to fulfill, which is kind of difficult for a lot of teams. You gotta damage an enemy without a buff 15 times, and only bounty hunters can contribute to contracts, as we know. And when you complete the contract on the leadership, all bounty hunter allies gain plus 50% offense. That's pretty huge, especially for when Boba Fett uses Execute. And when a bounty hunter ally uses a basic ability, they deal bonus damage equal to 7% of the target's max protection. So although it's hard to get this contract to go off, once you get it, you'll see some huge rewards that you'll start reaping because a lot of damage output will be flying across the field. Definitely one of my more favorite contract rewards for a bounty hunter leader, but it is difficult to trigger. We have the Kyozo, his first and only unique ability, which does have a Zeta. It doesn't add anything too critical, but the Zeta does help him keep his protection a little bit longer because he can't be critically hit. And Embo also has plus 30% offense when he has protection and plus 30% critical chance, which is important when he has no protection. Then when Embo receives damage from an enemy's attack, he has no protection. He gains Foresight for 2 turns. So it kind of reminds me of TIE Fighter Pilot, who gets Foresight quite frequently. And Embo's payout. So anytime you have any type of bounty hunter leader, when you satisfy the contract to the leader, Embo gets some decent bonuses here. His payout is Embo takes a bonus turn after scoring a critical hit. And Embo can't take consecutive bonus turns, so he'll get 2 turns back to back. And Embo gains a special ability called Elusive Strikes. And Elusive Strikes is pretty much it allows him to regenerate protection equal to the damage he deals, and this also ignores protection. So it's definitely a nice little touch. So you really want to get his contract triggered on his leadership, and if you get his contract on his leadership to go off between his payout, his leadership, and all the huge damage from the bounty hunters, it's actually kind of deadly if he gets it off. All right, let's get into battle here. First battle is just to get our feet wet. We're going to go up against the Phoenix Squadron, and the Phoenix is a good team to kind of, it's a good baseline team to test out characters like this. And because they don't start up with any buffs on the other team right away, because Boba Fett has an AoE, we can hit all of them, which contributes towards Embo's contract. But as we see, Phoenix gets a lot of protection up. So because of all those buffs, it's going to be really hard to trigger Embo's contract. So one thing I found while doing my initial testing is you really want a character like Imperial Probe Droid or the B2 Super Battle Droid who can strip away buffs and apply target lock, for example, or buff immunity, because now they have no protection up or any buffs, to prevent me from contributing towards Embo's contract. And now we get to go to town. We can use a special ability. How much damage can this do right here? Oh, look at that, 23,000 critical hit and 18,000, some big damage that we're working with right there. It's a fun character to use. I mean, you're not going to take on all the crazy stuff out there in the world like Darth Treya, but I found this does well up against Jedi Training Rey, Commander Luke Skywalker teams, Phoenix Squadron. It's just really Sith teams, and Sith teams are the most difficult to beat right now. Let's see, we got the contract triggered, so we can do some serious damage. Let's see if we can get rid of Chopper here. My goodness! Oh my... That's what I'm talking about, because once you get Embo's contract to trigger, your bounty hunters are going to town, doing some bonker damage as we see there. Look at that! Oh my gosh! 31,000 on a basic. All right. Now, because of the contract that got triggered, am I a little too excited right now? I don't know. I love Clone War bounty hunters. I love everything Clone Wars related. But let's do this special ability right here. Elusive Strikes. Let's see how much damage we can do. He should be able to regenerate protection. Ooh, oh, man. Here we go. All right, 34,000 on a non-critical hit, but there we go. So a very good first battle to kind of show you the potential of Embo when you go up against teams that you're able to control their buffs. It gets kind of difficult, especially when we're going up against R2-D2s and whatnot. Being able to control the buffs on the other team gets a lot more difficult. But let's move on to the next battle and do something a bit more challenging. Okay, so Commander Luke Skywalker is really going to stress test this team. It definitely pushes the upper limits of this bounty hunter lineup, but we're taking Embo out because I didn't find Embo too helpful up against Commander Luke Skywalker, and because this is such a high damage team that we're facing, we need a team that can soak up damage, which is why we have two tanks here, Bosk and L3, because Bosk can't do all the work himself, and L3, because one of the biggest problems that the bounty hunters are having is a good cleanser, and luckily they all have scoundrel tags, and because they have scoundrel tags, L337 can passively cleanse them anytime she's being hit, so it definitely helps out a lot. Oh, can we do some good damage right here? There we go. That's nice. Embo helped us chop through all that protection and a bit of his health right there. Let's jack up our L337 here. And hopefully between Bosk and L3's taunt, we should be able to have some decent survivability here. But we really need a healing immunity on Baze because he's just going to keep healing over and over again. Let's renew that taunt. All right. Let's do a double hit. Let's see if we can get that contract triggered for Bosk. And here we go. We should be able to get a stun. There we go. This should trigger the contract. Oh, not quite. We're almost there. Remove the retribution. Whew, this is the problem I have with bounty hunters. It's cool when you can get it to work, but the contract mechanism isn't the best yet for Arena. I'm definitely seeing bounty hunters, and especially Embo. I might do another video soon on Embo and the raids. There we go. Finally, now we can go to town. Can we... Oh, okay, we got healing immunity there. But the bounty hunters are more of a PvE and raid team, and especially Embo has a lot of possibilities in the raid. But other than that, it's very difficult to make this work in Arena with all the contract mechanisms. All right, this should be able to do some decent damage. Come on, don't evade it. Hey, there we go. So pretty much when you're using Bosk against Commander Luke Skywalker, it's all about just kind of beating it, just kind of staying there for a while until you finally trigger the contract. Let's get rid of R2-D2 so they stop cleansing. All right, there we go. Because of L3, Boba Fett's going to stick around a little bit longer. So I feel a lot better. Now that we got the contract triggered, it should be better. But it's going to be... We might lose L337. Here we go. Let's do this on R2-D2. They dodged, unfortunately. Oh, wow. 3 dodges from R2-D2. Yikes. That's not good at all. Come on. Oh, yep. So we're going to lose L337. She fulfilled her job. She helped us stay around for a while. If R2-D2 can stop evading, that would be great. We need to get an execute from Boba Fett, and that should finish R2-D2 off. There we go, and that should do the trick. All right, so there we go. R2-D2's down for the count, and this might be a couple more minute battle here. Oh, let's see. How much damage can we do here? Goodbye. Goodbye, True. No one likes you anymore. All right, and probably CLS and Han Solo, they're just going to take me to town. But here we go. That should finish off him. Oh, they dodged the assist. Come on. Well, one more hit. There we go. And now we can auto it. So there we go. So this is definitely one of the more challenging teams. If you want to see kind of push the bounty hunters to their upper limits, CLS is that's kind of the team to fight. So we're going to go up against one more semi-difficult team to beat, which is going to be Jedi Training Rey. And then I'll wrap up at the end with something else while we have some closing thoughts. So let's go up against Jedi Training Rey. Jedi Training Rey is the 3rd best team in the game, I believe, in my book. And this is something you might see in Territory Wars because people are saving their Kenobis for other teams and whatnot. But this is a good team to go up against and, again, stress test the bounty hunters. And L337 37. We're gonna use her again because I really find her passive cleansing and the healing and the taunts very helpful. Let's just start working on Holdo. Let's remove the buff. Excellent. And because of that, there's no buffs on Holdo. Now we can start working towards our contract. And it's unfortunate Embo can't join the party here. Let's remove all the buffs. Excellent. Target lock galore. I really think Imperial Probe Droid's going to be key if you want to make Embo lead the work, because once they have no buffs, we're controlling all the buffs on their team. We can go to town. Let's see, how much damage can we do here? Not as much damage. It was okay. I was hoping for a critical hit of at least 23,000 and then plus 27,000 or whatever the case may be. All right, slowly but surely. Let's keep working on their Holdo. Holdo's almost done here. Oh, Boba Fett, that was nasty, my man. We need to get a taunt from L3 to get the health up and running again. All right, come on. All right, here we go. Let's taunt. There we go. Keep working on Holdo. And once we get the contract going, it's kind of like, it does feel more like an Illuminated Destiny for bounty hunters when Embo's contract goes off, because it's a lot more damage flying around the field. Get rid of the foresight, start working on, let's do this. Let's get rid of their raid because I don't want her to get any big damage out, any big damage attacks out. Very nice, very nice. Raise down for the count. Now let's work on R2-D2 and eventually we'll get a stun on BB-8. No sense in touching him when he's not stunned because that's just a mess. That should finish off R2-D2. There we go. Perfect. So R2-D2's down. Now we just got to try to get our contract triggered. Let's get rid of the buffs on her. Very nice hit, by the way. All right, we can remove the... Oh, you know what? We didn't even get the contract to go off and we still won. All right, well, there we have it. I mean, I was hoping to show the contract in action, but we won without the contract, so maybe that's a good sign. But if you can get the contract to go off early for a Boba Fett-led bounty hunter team, I definitely feel a lot of the Illuminated Destiny vibes with the high damage output and all the other crazy stuff that the Embo lead offers. If your main concern is beating Emperor Palpatine lineups and Darth Trey, I wouldn't get your hopes up too high. You might find some way to do it, especially when you get Embo's contract to trigger. Boba Fett goes to town, but even non-Trey Palp teams, I found it hard to beat. But I think there's a lot of perspective outlook for Embo in Phase 1 of the Sith Lord. If you're curious, I'll make a video about that because I think he has a lot of potential there. But you guys let me know down below in the comments what you thought of Embo. Do you think that Cad Bane rework is going to happen? And if so, do you think that's going to be important for making the Clone Wars bounty hunter Embo make more sense? Would love to hear your guys' thoughts. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead, leave me a like, comment down below, and subscribe so you're not missing a thing. And until the next video.
Party Richter, down, down, down.